All right, I got another correctional officer video for my corrections family. If you just finding my channel or you stumbled across one of my videos talking about corrections, I have a playlist with over 100 videos all talking about corrections, different aspects of the job, the hiring process, what to expect at the job interview, how to pass the academy, what to expect at the academy when you have to go, working behind the fence, working inside the units, dealing with inmates, dealing with the stress, and sometimes the negative environment that comes with the job, how to manage that, the retirement, the pension, all kind of good topics talking about corrections. So make sure you check out my playlist. But I want to do something different in this video. I want to talk about what we can learn from the inmates. See, I'm big on mental health and expanding our mind so we can have a better outlook and a better attitude towards life. So we already know the obvious stuff that we can learn from the inmates. Don't break the law. Don't do crime. The people that you hang out can make or break you. But I want to take it a step deeper. These are some positive things right here, So this is the first thing I feel like we can learn from the inmates, man. The power of staying optimistic even when you're dealing with tough situations. This is the thing when you work in corrections, right? You see some inmates sitting there, right? And they may have a 10, 15, 20-year sentence, right? And these are some of the most upbeat, positive people that you will meet. You wouldn't even think they were doing that much time. I've seen inmates with life sentences, right? It was a dude when I worked at my county jail, right? He was serving a life sentence. He had killed his wife, chopped up her body, put her in the freezer. He was one of the most upbeat, positive, respectful inmates I've ever met in my 14 years working in corrections. I don't know how he maintained that positive, upbeat attitude all the time, knowing that he's never coming home. He's never getting out of prison. But hey, he was like that the whole 2 years I worked at the county jail. Me personally, I probably would be like, man, I'll probably be on suicide watch. I'm like, man, I got all this time. I'm just going to crash out. I'm going to be a problem inmate, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you got inmates 10, 15, 20. I seen some 25-year sentences. They still optimistic about coming home. Some of them, they looking forward to the day they finally get free. They can come home to their family. They can start a new life. They learned their lesson. They can start all over from the beginning. They had to do all this time. Sometimes, you got to sit down when you do the crime and do the time. So how can that relate to us in our lives? So when you going through tough situations, life been giving it to you. Life been throwing you L after L, man. You've been going through it lately, man. The power of staying optimistic, even when you're going through it, man, is a game changer. If you've been going through hell right now, you've been walking through storms in your life, you got to keep walking. You got to keep going, man, because it's always sunshine on the other side of the storm. I look back on every situation I've dealt with in my life, all the negative, all the bad circumstances that I went through in my life, and I've always overcome them because I always keep a positive mindset, and I always got that attitude like, man, I'll figure it out. Long as I got air in my body and I wake up, I got a fighting chance to get up. I got another chance, another day to figure out what I'm going to do to overcome this situation. So we could use that to our advantage. You see some inmates, man, like I said, they just doing their time, and they may have all this time, but they still looking forward to that day coming home. We get to go home every day and live our life, So you got to keep looking forward to another day, another opportunity, man, and expecting the future to get better. And it's not enough just to expect it to get better. You have to work on these things. You have to work and put forth the effort to get the things that you want out your life. It's not enough just to show up. It's not enough to just assume that it's all going to work out. No, you have to consciously and you have to consistently be working on your dreams, your goals. What makes you happy? What do you want out of your life? You feel me? This is the next thing, man. The power of change. Some inmates I see in my 14 years doing this, they go home, and they never come back. A lot of them do end up reoffending. Some of them, man, I seen one inmate, right? He had just got done doing like a 10, 15-year sentence, right? He went home. He wasn't even gone damn 12 months. He came back. I didn't see him till like maybe a week or two later. I see him walking. I'm looking at him crazy. Like, damn, didn't you just get out like 12 months ago? So I get his attention. I told him to come to the office. I was like, yo, what you in here for, man? What's going on? He tell me that he had got out. He got right back in the dope game. He got caught with like 20 pounds of methamphetamine, got a fresh 20-year sentence. I said, man, you just don't learn, man. You must like doing prison time. You must like being around a bunch of men. I don't know if you institutionalize or what, man. I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm not trying to do a day in nobody's prison unless I'm going in there to work. I don't need to be doing time. I like my freedom. I like my house. I like to travel, eat good food. You feel me? I don't need nobody telling me when I got to go in my cell for the night, when I can use the bathroom, strip searching me. I'm cool on all of that. You feel me, man? But like I said, some of the inmates, they get out and they make a complete 180. There's one of the units at my prison, right? The inmates, I guess, they kept in touch with one of the other inmates that got out, right? He was from New York. They took a press clipping from the newspaper. I guess he must have sent it in to him, and they hung it up on one of the bulletin boards on the unit, right? This dude got out, right? He started up a fitness boot camp up in New York, and it just took off and blew up, man. It got so big, they actually did like a press clipping on him, So like I say, man, the power of change, man, when there's a will, there's a way. You see inmates all the time. Like I said, a lot of them do end up reoffended, unfortunately. But some of them do get out and they do good what they like, man. They may not be able to get the job that they desire, but, some of them, they make a way out of no way. You see some of them go into being truck drivers, Amazon delivery. Some of them, they just need an opportunity. They just want a job, man. They say they done with the life of crime. They want to be with their family. They trying to become a better person, man. And that's what corrections is all about, So how can that relate to us, man, in our lives? If you're not happy with things that are going on in your life, you have to sit down and you have to change. You have to change some stuff around. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You feel me? If you don't work on changing your circumstances, your situation, the people you dealing with on a day-to-day basis, your relationships, anything that doesn't bring you happiness and joy, you should be figuring out a way to distance yourself or eliminate that out your life, man. You don't have to stay the same. You don't have to go through and deal with things that don't make you happy, that makes you miserable, sad, depressed, man. Life is too short to be sad and depressed, man. I want to spend as much time as I can on this earth being happy, being joyful, doing the things I love, just taking it easy and enjoying life, man, because like I said, you don't know when your last day on this earth may be, man. It could be tomorrow. You could wake up in the morning on your way to work, for your shift and get in a bad accident. And it could all end in a matter of 1 second, So I'm saying change is inevitable, man. You have to embrace it too when it comes, Don't fear it. Don't fear change, man. Embrace it, and accept it into your life. It's a part of growing as a person, like me. I don't want to have anything to do with anything that brings out negative emotions in me. It makes me sad, angry, depressed. None of that, man. I want to be happy. I want to bring positivity, inspiration, and motivation with these videos. I want to spread a positive message, man. That's why I do this. This is the last thing, man, that we can learn from the inmates. The power of removing negative influences out of your life. See, this is the thing when it comes to inmates, prison life. A lot of these dudes, when they on the street doing whatever they doing, whatever kind of dirt they doing, sometimes prison is the best thing for some of these dudes. And I'm going to explain why. When you out on the street, man, you gang banging, robbing, stealing, you selling dope, you taking dope, you cough medicine, cough syrup, they taking pills, coke, whatever they doing, man, and you in that negative environment, man, you on a path of self-destruction, man. I've had inmates come up to me and tell me, man, sad as it is to say, prison was one of the best things that could happen to me, man, because if I didn't, go to prison and have to sit down and do this time, I probably wouldn't even be here. I'd probably be dead. I probably would have been killed a long time ago, So when you take yourself an inmate and they had to do their sentence, right? and they removed from that environment, some of them, they revert to their old ways in prison. Let's just be honest. We not dealing with the most upstanding people. When they go into prison, they're going to be in the gang banging life, probably still trying to store selling contraband on the yard, stuff like that. Some of them, they get in there, man, and they clean themselves up, man. Now they got structure. We telling them when to go to bed, so they in the bed early. They don't got alcohol, hard narcotic drugs that they abusing, a lot of that. And a lot of them getting up early in the morning. They got to go to breakfast by 6:30. They know if they up all night, they going to miss breakfast. Some of them start working out. Some of them start picking up religion. Some of them become Muslim, all kind of stuff. When you remove yourself from a negative environment, man, a lot of times it's a positive change and it's a step forward. It's turning the corner. That's what a lot of these inmates need. They didn't have that structure, man. A lot of these dudes, they up 5 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. doing whatever, sleep all day. Then they probably get up 2, 3 in the afternoon, go do their dirt, sell their dope, whatever they kind of crimes they were doing, man. So how can that relate to us, man? When you got negative influences around you, you got people that's not talking about nothing. Oh, the only time they call you is when it's time to go to the club or when it's time to go to happy hour. They never call you when it's like a business opportunity or let's put our heads together and come up with a new play that we can all boss up and we could change our lives with potentially. Some people they just live for the party scene. They just live for social media, stuff like that. And you got to distance yourself from those type of people. You got toxic family members, toxic relationships, man. That means you no good and it's bad for your mental health. You got to distance yourself from that and remove yourself out from all of that, man. You got bad habits. You got, things in your life that are not good for you, but you continue to do them. And it's like you on your own mini path of destruction. You got to wisen up. You got to have some accountability and you got to remove yourself from that, man. We could use all of this stuff that I talked about that inmates go through on a day-to-day basis to improve our lives. I got one more for you too, man. The power of discipline. You see, like I said, with some of these inmates, man, I see it all the time. They get in there, man. They none of them never thought about working out, fitness, none of that. Then they get in there, they ain't got nothing but time. So what do a lot of them do, man? A lot of them in there working out every day. They reading books, man. You got nothing but time. So if you smart, you sitting down and you learning the lesson, the judge sentenced you to this time. So I'm going to use this time to be productive. Some inmates go in there, they meet other inmates. This inmate may have been a Wall Street banker. He start offering stock market courses. So they start taking the classes in the education department, stuff like that. The goal of corrections, is when these inmates come in, they may be in a bad place, but when they leave out a better person. They could change their life around and become a better person. And like I said, we know some of them reoffend. That's the nature of the beast, man. But if I can have a conversation with an inmate and he's telling me he about to go home, he got this idea, he got that idea, he about to apply for these jobs, this and that, man. If I say can encourage him to go forth with that and to stay out of prison, then I'll talk to him all day. I tell him all the time when I'm having them type of talks with the inmates, man. I'll be like, don't come back in here, man. I don't want to see you in this environment the next time I see you, man. Hopefully, if I ever run across you again, on the outside, you doing good for yourself. You done changed your life around. You got a job, you holding down. Your family love you and all that, man. I don't want to see you back in here. You feel me, man? Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got the merchandise for sale. This is one of my gym shirts right here. No pain, just gains. I got the grind harder, snapback, hat, all kind of hoodies and t-shirts for sale. Motivational messages, gym, fitness related. Check out my website, man. But y'all hope this video helps somebody out that's working in corrections, man. I hope y'all can see my point of view and where I'm coming from with it. Y'all got any input, thoughts, comments on this video? Make sure you drop a comment. I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.